Still drinking this Empress Gin. Truly the most gorgeous color of a liquor I've ever seen. Well, actually, this isn't even a gin and tonic. This is a gin and club soda because I didn't have tonic. And let me tell you, it's real strong without the tonic. Yeah. So I'm gonna be sipping this. So the time has come for an Ask Me Anything. I think I did one of these a few months ago in a live stream, but you know, those just don't get as many views as my normal videos do. So I thought I would do this in a proper video. I'm still dog sitting for my friend here in the city, so that's the reason for this different background. So basically I took your questions from Instagram and YouTube, and I'm gonna be sipping my drink and answering those questions. This video is in sponsorship with Ana Luisa Jewelry. I love Ana Luisa so much. I'm so grateful for their partnership in the last few years. They are a vocally pro-choice jewelry brand. If you're new to my channel, I am an exclusively pro-choice influencer, which means that I only feature products from brands that are loudly and proudly pro-choice. Jewelry brands don't generally fit in that category, but Ana Luisa does, which is awesome. They are actually having an amazing sale right now. It is up to 25% off. It is a self-love sale. So instead of focusing on Valentine's Day as something you're doing for somebody else, their whole focus is self-care and self-love, and I love that entire concept. In fact, I feel like I've been doing that a lot since I've been dog sitting for my friend, because I definitely have more space here. I've been doing all the skincare, I've been taking all the baths, I've been steaming my face. I've just been really leaning into that, and it's been really lovely. I'm gonna show you some of the pieces that Ana Luisa has sent me this month. The Ana Luisa sale, along with all of the makeup I'm wearing on my face today, is going to be linked down below in my description box. So they sent me 2 earring sets and a ring. First, I'm gonna start out with the ring they sent me, and I'm actually wearing this on my thumb right now. This is a size 8, which means that I can basically wear this on almost any finger, which I love. This is the Josie Singapore chain, and I'm just gonna show you what it looks like not on my finger. It's literally a chain. You can see it picks up the light so beautifully. It's so dainty, it's so fine. This is a ring that I can wear by itself, like I was wearing on my thumb, or I can go ahead and stack these with my other rings. Like this stacks perfectly on top of these rings that I never take off as well. I love these chain style rings. I think they're so fun. I think they add really fun movement to my jewelry look. Now, I wouldn't advise anyone to get into a hot tub with jewelry. I generally know that that's not a great thing to do. However, I kind of forgot one day, because I've done a lot of hot tubbing recently, and this is an Ana Luisa ring as well. It's actually one of my favorites that I featured last month. I have gone into the hot tub multiple times with this ring, and it has not affected it in the least. Like, when I tell you this looks like the day I got it, a lot of these rings I'm wearing right now, really all of these rings right now, I always keep on. Next thing I want to talk about are these hoop earrings right here. I love these so much. So these are the low, medium, slim, endless hoops. I have these in my first hole. I do not have a hoop that is this size. I think this is really unique. I kind of have like really big hoops or like really small hoops, but nothing this size. It fits right into my hole flawlessly. Sometimes I have issues with that because my ears and my holes are like very, very small and very close together. So these are really simple to put in. And my God, I can't even feel these in my ears. That's one of my requirements for jewelry. I can't have like any weight. It has to be like a featherweight earring. These also come in silver, and I really actually love how I've stacked these earrings right now. And moving on to the earring that is in my second hole, which is super dainty. The tiniest earrings I think I've ever gotten from Ana Luisa, and therefore I am obsessed, is the Cassie hoop earrings. So these are so cute and tiny. I'm gonna pull it out so you can actually see. Like, it just fits perfectly into your ear. It pretty much just looks like a little stud that wraps around your ear. And this is, once again, just perfect for me because, like I said, I have not a lot of space between all of my piercings. So when I do stack earrings, I do need them to be quite fine and quite small so they all look really nice and cohesive. And I love how this just like effortlessly slips into the piercing. These come in silver as well, and I just can't say enough about like how versatile these pieces are. If you are unfamiliar with Ana Luisa, they are indeed a sustainable jewelry company. So you can get up to 25% off at Ana Luisa right now. Definitely go and treat yourself. Okay, so now we're gonna move into the Ask Me Anything, and you guys did not disappoint. We've got a really interesting combination of questions to answer. I'm gonna take a strong drink. Also, I can't get out of this robe. This is literally my friend's kimono, and it's pretty much all I've been living in. Okay, so the first question is from Jennifer. It's actually several questions. I would love for you to talk about the difference between being a pro-choice influencer and a pro-choice consumer. In other words, how do we spend our dollars more in alignment with our values without making ourselves crazy? I will say for me, the biggest difference between being a pro-choice consumer, just a pro-choice consumer, and a pro-choice influencer is being a pro-choice influencer has been harder than I could have ever imagined. The difference being, of course, that like not only am I, looking at what I'm spending my dollars on and what I'm buying and where that money goes to, it also affects what I'm able to talk about, what I'm able to promote, how I'm able to make my living. It's a huge difference for me. And it's one that's been really challenging and continues to be challenging because, I had to cut out a lot, and this was by choice. This is something I wanted to do. But, I cut out a lot of my makeup collection. I'd say about 3/4 of my makeup collection to only talk about products that are vocally pro-choice. The question, how do we spend our dollars more in alignment with our values without making ourselves crazy? I definitely think that that's a personal question. We all have, things that we're willing to sacrifice, things that we aren't. I don't know where your bar is. I can only speak for myself. And something I want to make clear, and I think I've made very clear throughout my time, being exclusively pro-choice, I have never expected anyone to go about this the way I'm going about it. I don't expect anyone else to throw out their makeup. I don't expect anyone to only buy pro-choice. If you want to, I think that's incredible. And I love that. If you don't, there is literally no judgment and there is no expectation of that whatsoever. I'm just so happy to have you guys support in any way, shape, or form. And however it is that you want to go about that is okay by me. The next question is a really good one too. It's if you had the power to make one brand become proudly pro-choice, which brand would it be? Oh, there's so many. There are so many. But off the top of my head, number one, I have to say Charlotte Tilbury. I miss that makeup every single day. And I'm not over here trying to promote Charlotte Tilbury when they're not pro-choice whatsoever. I loved that makeup. I know there are a lot of people out there who are like, oh, Charlotte Tilbury's not that great and it's overhyped. Well, honey, I don't know what Charlotte Tilbury you were using, but the one I was using was phenomenal. Honestly, some of the best makeup products I've ever used. So I think that was the most difficult makeup brand to give up for me. I owned so much of her makeup. Cozzens is another brand that was really disappointing to me, and it's a brand that a lot of people are like, oh my god, I can't believe they're not pro-choice. Well, believe it. I've written them, my subscribers have written them, and there's either a non-response or just a abysmal response. They definitely pick and choose what they speak out about, and they are absolutely not going to speak out about abortion rights. Yeah, that's been a disappointment. And also I would say Cate. Cate is definitely in my top 3. Same thing with Charlotte Tilbury. I absolutely loved their makeup. Cate really did have one of the worst responses to me from their PR team out of every brand, point blank. So Cate is definitely almost a sore spot for me because I just could not believe. If you ever want to see all of this information, if you want to see brands' responses to things and all of the minutia of this, you should definitely go to my Instagram. There's a highlight on there. It's a little circle. You can't miss it. It's pink. It says pro-choice. Click on that and you're going to see so much information, so many stories about this whole mission, this whole pro-choice mission, and how I've gone about it. Jennifer killed it. She has a third question. When did you first do a pixie cut and would you ever grow it out again? This is a question I get a lot. The last time I had anything other than short hair was when I was 17 years old. I used to have this crazy curl. If you see any throwback pictures of me, you're gonna be shocked. No one ever believes me until I pull out a picture. But I had the biggest, most lion's mane curly coarse hair right in the front. My mom was a hairstylist, and when I was 17 she was like, should we just cut your hair? And I was like, okay. And she literally pulled out a folding chair and she just gave me a pixie cut, and that was literally the end of that. That's what I've had ever since. My hair chemistry completely changed, and so while I do have a little wave around my face, I don't have that anymore. And I've never really like longed to go back to long hair. I can't really relate to women. I mean, it's totally fine if people feel this way, but I can't really relate to like, oh, I just want to have long hair and I feel better with long hair. And I'm like, I feel better like this. I just feel like me. I just felt like, you know, it was really easy to hide behind my hair. My identity was kind of my hair when I was in high school and partially junior high because, like I said, I had this super curly hair. But the problem was that I have fine hair. So I had this curly, coarse hair in front that was all voluminous and intense. And then the rest of my hair was still fine, but it was like barely wavy. So I had all this like density up front, but I had like all this kind of like limpness on the sides and the back. And it was a constant struggle to try to keep the entire head of hair voluminous. It was honestly kind of a nightmare. And I realize now like how much time I spent obsessing about my hair. I just don't even have to think about any of that anymore. And it's been such a gift. Because also when I look at pictures of long hair, the pictures that I love are of women who have like this gorgeous, thick head of hair. And I will never have a thick head of hair. That's just not my genetics. So I guess I kind of feel like if I can't have that hair, I'm not gonna have long hair because otherwise it's too much. It's too much work. Oh my gosh, Jennifer asked 4 questions. Well, damn, how big is your New York City apartment and how long have you lived there? So for anyone new, I've lived in New York City for 17 years. I've lived in the apartment I live in with my boyfriend. I've lived there since 2009. And my apartment, not this one, but my apartment that I live in is very small. It's a junior 1 bedroom, which is basically like a glorified studio. And it's somewhere around 300 square feet. So very, very small, but also remember, very New York City. That's not that strange in New York City. I know it's strange in other parts of the country, but here it's kind of like normal. Okay, Jess R also asked some great questions. She said, what is the best part of your daily routine? My favorite part of my daily routine is if I putting on my makeup, doing my skincare. I'm sure that none of that comes as any surprise to you guys. And then I would say, I don't know, this is more about my favorite time of day, but I'm gonna include it in this answer. I love like getting home from work or getting home from whatever, from your day. And it's like 5 or 6 o'clock. It's like my magic hour. You know, the day is barely ended. The night hasn't begun. The world is your oyster. You pour yourself a cocktail. You put your robe on. You just get comfy. Like that is the best part of my daily routine. She also asked, which of your possessions could you not live without, excluding the obvious makeup and skincare? The first thing that comes to mind is this ring set right here. So this is a ring set that I never take off. It is vintage, you cannot purchase it. This is actually a set that I put together myself because it goes so beautifully together. I think this is probably what I've gotten the most questions on in the entirety of my time on YouTube. The first ring right here, this flower ring, is one that my mother gave me, and this is actually, I believe, from an estate sale. And I had this appraised years ago, and I was told that this is a princess style ring that's mostly found or made in Thailand. And you have rubies, you have a sapphire in the middle, and then you have the emeralds on the outside. And you know, it's solid gold. So I paired that with this ring that matches perfectly that my grandfather was going to give me when I turned 21. And these just go so beautifully together. It looks like they're meant to be. And if I lost these, honestly, I just got a chill down my spine. Like, I don't even want to think about it. I'm knocking on all the wood mentally. Mellow Kitty asks, how are you gonna survive this election season? Alcohol? Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, every day that I wake up feels just like an extended existential crisis. I mean, I can't say that I really have any plans to do anything differently. I'm going to drink the alcohol I need to drink, smoke the devil's lettuce I need to smoke, whatever it takes to get through within reason. Okay, so Rachel asks, seeing as you work at a Pilates studio, do you practice Pilates yourself? Are you a yogi? Do you do meditation and mindfulness? Okay, I've always had part-time jobs in the city. I've always worked numerous jobs in the city because the entire reason I moved to New York City 17 years ago is because I'm a performer. So no matter what I've done, I've always had to have like multiple jobs. I do kind of have an incredible unicorn part-time job that I've had on and off for the last 5 years. I work at a Pilates studio. To answer your question, I do not do Pilates. It's just really not my deal. That job is a job to me because basically I can go to work and I can edit my videos and I can kind of do what I need to do at the desk. Like it's really ideal for my entire situation. So that's why I work at a Pilates studio, not because of my love of Pilates. And actually, to double down on that, I worked at Lululemon for years. It was awful. I hated it. I really got my fill of yoga in those years. I mean, you have never seen someone try to like yoga more than this bitch. No one can say anything bad about yoga. Everyone's like, oh, it's breathing, it's alignment, and it's mindfulness, and it's restfulness, and it's stretching, and it's like, it's supposed to be this cure-all. And let me tell you, I've tried my damnedest. I really have. I'm not into it. I like music when I work out. I don't like to do long, miserable, painful, sweaty stretches to silence. I've done it all. I tried Bikram yoga. Yes, I would like a parade thrown in my honor because 1, I hate heat, and 2, I hate yoga. So how did I even survive? And people always like to say, oh, but you feel so good when you're done. Don't you love how you feel when it's over? Yes, I love how I feel when something miserable is completed and I don't have to do it anymore. That's true. With that being said, I know so many people who love yoga and they swear by it and it's changed their lives. And like, I'm all for that. That's incredible. I kind of hoped that would have been my situation too, but it wasn't. Also, as a person who is very tall, who is all legs with literally no torso and extreme, just long limbs, I just always found yoga highly uncomfortable and just awkward. It just sets awkward in my body. I would always look over at other people during class and they're just like flawlessly like flowing through the routine. And I'm just over here like having to, modify everything I do and move my hands up and move my feet back. And I'm just like, forget about it. I did my due diligence. I tried as hard as I could to like that shit and I don't. The Ginger 885 asks your top 3 TV series and or movies. Okay, this is always a tough question because I feel like I get too in my head about it and too precious. So I'm gonna rattle off what I can right now. I'm gonna start with movies. Number 1, Stepford Wives from 1975 with Catherine Ross and Paula Prentice. Not the remake. I will die on this hill. That remake of Stepford Wives was a crime. Do yourself a favor in 2024 and go back and watch the original 1975 Stepford Wives because that was how it was intended. And unfortunately, it is highly relevant right now. I love that movie so much that I actually have a canvas print of the original Stepford Wives movie poster up in our apartment. Second favorite movie is The Shining. I'm basically naming movies that I could watch at any given time. Like, these are movies that never get old to me. I put them on as like comfort movies. Actually, like being in this building where my friend lives makes me want to watch The Shining because this is actually a very old building. I believe it's existed since at least the 20s and that makes sense. The 20s or 30s because the style of it is entirely Art Deco. It's stunning. And they really made sure to like hold on to that aesthetic. So when you walk through this building, it very much is giving Shining vibes. And then the third one, I'm kind of like struggling because there are so many options, but I'm just gonna go with my gut and I'm gonna say Clueless. That is a movie I could watch anywhere, anytime. It never gets old. It's a delight. It's funny. It's eye candy. It feels like one of those movies where if I watch it, I don't feel like it's aged that terribly compared to almost every other movie, let's be honest. Series, well, I can definitely tell you what my number 1 series of all time is, and that's Friday Night Lights. I know that's shocking. I'm not a sports person. Some sports movies and shows are just incredible. If I can get behind the characters in something, I actually could be made to care about the sport. When I watch a football game on Friday Night Lights, I am invested. I've watched that show close to 3 times in its entirety. That's how much I love Friday Night Lights. That entire cast, Jesse Plemons, Connie Britton, Kyle Chandler. It's so good. It feels so real the way it's filmed. Like, I will never stop gushing about Friday Night Lights, and I really feel like it did not get its due when it was on. Loving 50 and Beyond asks, given the constant hustle and bustle, how do you find moments of tranquility or relaxation within the day? Honestly, we live in an apartment that is very quiet. I think it's where it's placed. We actually face a courtyard, so where we live, we just don't get a lot of noise. We don't get a lot of traffic noise. There's not a lot of sirens. It's really, really nice and kind of rare. Also, like where I work is super chill. Like it's very serene. It really, like I said, it really is a unicorn job. Like it's kind of in a not very populated area of New York. So both my work and home are pretty tranquil. The only things that aren't is like getting to and from. Lily Snow asks, have you lost friends because of going all pro-choice beauty? I can't really say that I know for a fact that I've lost friends because of that specifically. What I can say is I think it's definitely like isolated me. Like in the YouTube community and the influencer community, people who I once considered friends, who I spoke to on a regular basis, who were on YouTube, I don't really hear from those people a lot anymore. And, you know, I guess it would be easy to think it's because of that. And it very well may be. I can't pinpoint that, but all I can really surmise is that it's just gotten a lot more quiet. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't wish I had a little bit more support from that community, but it is what it is. I'm doing fine. I'm doing something that's important to me and that means a lot to me, and you know, that's all I can really focus on. I still have more questions to answer, but I'm gonna wrap it up and I'm gonna try to do another one of these videos, you know, before too long, because this was a lot of fun. Definitely remember to check out that Ana Luisa 25% off sale. Again, that link is in the description box. I didn't talk about my makeup today, but I am going to link everything I'm wearing down below as well. I really do love this makeup look, and I actually, word to the wise, I'm actually wearing the new shade of the Say Do blush that I haven't worn on camera yet. So this is the shade Sweetie, and it's considered a neutral pink. I have this on my cheeks and on my damn lips. And then I put this gloss over it. This is the In Beauty lip oil in Cinnamon Bun. You guys are the best. Please stay safe out there, and cheers till next time.